Mary Tyler Moore? She was just a girl dancing like an elf in $6,000 commercials when fate came knocking. Then came the $450 per episode on The Dick Van Dyke Show. But the real jackpot arrived when she co-founded MTM Enterprises with Grant Tinker. The company was pulling in an impressive $40 million annually, and Mary took a generous slice home. Her own show? It turned her into one of the highest-paid actresses of the 70s. The Oscar didn't come, but the Emmys rained down, and her production empire bankrolled classics like Hill Street Blues and Cheers. When she passed away in 2017, she left behind $60 million, money that came not only from TV, but from smart investments in production and syndication. Her husband, Robert Levine, inherited everything, but the true legacy? It was showing that women could be billionaire producers, not just stars. And to think it all started dressed as a dancing elf. Edward Asner, the son of Russian immigrants who sold scrap metal, became the most awarded actor in American television with 7 Emmys, 5 just for the role of Lou Grant. From small roles in the 60s, Ed exploded onto the Mary Tyler Moore Show in 1970, then earned his own dramatic series, Lou Grant, proving to be the only actor to win an Emmy in comedy and drama for the same character. The salary? Modest at first, but consistent for decades. Ed diversified, president of the SAG, a fierce political activist, and decades later, the charismatic voice of the elderly man in Pixar's Up brought in new audiences. He invested in causes, not mansions. And at 91, when he passed in 2021, he had $10 million saved. Not a Hollywood fortune, but proof of a solid career based on talent, not glamour. Lou Grant was never about easy money, and Ed Asner lived exactly that way. Gavin MacLeod. From elevator operator at Radio City Music Hall to captain of the Love Boat, that was Gavin MacLeod's journey. As Murray Slaughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, he earned respect and 2 Golden Globe nominations. But when Mary Moore ended in 1977, Gavin didn't have time to mourn. He immediately embarked as Captain Steubing on the Love Boat, earning $1.4 million per season, one of the highest TV salaries of the 80s. It was 250 episodes, sailing into success. Afterward, he became a global ambassador for Princess Cruises for 30 years, racking up more prestige and money. He wrote memoirs, hosted Christian TV programs, and invested in modest but lucrative real estate. When he died in 2021 at 90, he left $10 million, not billions, but a complete life. From cleaner to captain, proof that talent and persistence sail far. Ted Knight. Ted Knight started as a door-to-door salesman and radio announcer before striking gold in Hollywood. As the hilarious and vain Ted Baxter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, he became unforgettable, winning 2 Emmys and turning buffoonery into art. His salary grew episode after episode, and when the series ended in 1977, Ted was already a star. Then came Too Close for Comfort, his own successful series in the 80s, consolidating his wealth. He also stole scenes in Caddyshack alongside Rodney Dangerfield. In 1981, he bought a house in Pacific Palisades for $985,000, an investment that appreciated to over $2 million. But life took its toll. Diagnosed with cancer in 1977, Ted fought until 1986, when he died at 62 with a net worth of $10 million. Ted Baxter made people laugh on TV, but Ted Knight built a serious legacy.
Valerie Harper. From a Radio City Rockettes dancer to Rhoda Morgenstern, Valerie Harper was pure authenticity. On the Mary Tyler Moore Show, she stole hearts and won 4 Emmys. The spin-off Rhoda made her even wealthier. In 1975, she refused to return for the 2nd season until CBS increased her salary from $10,000 to $17,500 weekly, and she got it. Then came her own series, Valerie, but salary disputes with NBC resulted in her firing and a lawsuit. She won $1.4 million plus 12.5% of the show's profits. But life held tough blows. Lung cancer in 2009, terminal brain cancer in 2013, with only 3 months to live, she fought 6 years past a sentence. Medical bills exceeded $3 million, draining her savings. A GoFundMe raised $66,000 for treatments. When she passed in 2019, she had only $1 million remaining. Rhoda was rich on TV, but Valerie taught us that real life comes at a price. Cloris Leachman. Cloris Leachman was unstoppable, actress, comedian, activist, and record-breaker. As Phyllis Lindstrom on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, she won 2 Emmys, then earned her own spin-off, Phyllis. But it was in 1972 that glory came, Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for The Last Picture Show. Cloris tied with Julia Louis-Dreyfus with an incredible 8 Emmys over her career, an absolute record for decades. She worked until her 90s, Malcolm in the Middle, Raising Hope, Dancing with the Stars at 82. Cloris never stopped, accumulating over 250 credits in a 70-year career. Investments in Topanga real estate, voiceover work, Pixar films, it all added up. A vegetarian, animal and LGBT community activist, she left $10 million when she died in 2021 at 94. Cloris proved that talent doesn't age, and neither does the bank account. Betty White. The First Lady of Television. Betty White started in radio because they said she wasn't photogenic. What irony! Her 9-decade career included Life with Elizabeth in the 50s, The Mary Tyler Moore Show as the acid-tongued Sue Ann Nivens, and of course, Rose in The Golden Girls, earning $75,000 per episode. But Betty was more than an actress, a pioneering producer, game show host, brand spokesperson. At 88, she became an SNL sensation after a Facebook campaign. In Hot in Cleveland, she continued to earn big into her 90s. She worked on Toy Story 4, SpongeBob, and never stopped. An animal lover, she left a large part of her $75 million fortune to animal charities. With no biological children, her 3 stepchildren from Alan Ludman may have inherited a portion. When she passed in 2019, just weeks shy of turning 100, the world mourned. Betty proved that longevity plus talent equals eternal legacy. The Rockford Files, 1974 to 1980. James Garner. From a poor kid in Oklahoma during the Great Depression to a $20 million star, James changed the game. In 1956, he was earning $2,000 a week at Warner Bros. In 1974, when he starred in The Rockford Files, his salary exploded to an impressive $100,000 per episode, one of the highest on TV. The series lasted 6 seasons and spawned 8 TV movies in the 90s. He was also a spokesperson for Mazda from 1985 to 1989, pocketing $1 million annually plus a free car. James was smart. He sued studios for unpaid royalties and always fought for his rights. He invested in Los Angeles real estate, working into his 80s in films like The Notebook. When he died of a heart attack in 2014 at 86, he left $20 million and a legacy of integrity. Rockford taught cunning on TV, but Garner taught seriousness in business.
Noah Beery Jr., a third-generation Beery actor. Noah Jr. never reached the billionaire fame of his uncle Wallace Beery, but he built a solid, respectable career. From roles in classic westerns like Red River with John Wayne to the 50s in Circus Boy, Noah was a constant presence on TV. His role as Rocky Rockford, Jim Rockford's loving father in The Rockford Files, made him nationally beloved in his 60s. Interestingly, Noah was only 15 years older than James Garner in real life. The show lasted 6 seasons, ensuring him stable income and residuals for decades. Noah maintained a simple lifestyle on a ranch in the San Fernando Valley, far from the spotlight. He worked until his 80s and died in 1994 from a cerebral thrombosis at 81. He didn't leave a Hollywood fortune, but he left a legacy of professionalism and humility. Rocky Rockford was just a retired truck driver, and Noah lived without ostentation just the same. Joe Santos, Detective Dennis Becker from The Rockford Files.
was the loyal friend who always bailed Jim Rockford out of police trouble. An excellent character actor, Santos built a solid career in supporting roles, The Sopranos, films like The Last Boy Scout. In Rockford Files, his salary was modest compared to Garner's, but constant throughout the 6 seasons and 8 later movies. Joe never sought stardom, preferring consistent work. He continued acting in series and films until his 80s. He invested in his family and a quiet life. There are no records of a millionaire fortune, but Santos lived comfortably from his profession until his death in 2016 at 84. Dennis Becker solved problems on screen, and Joe Santos solved his life well off-screen. Stuart Margolin. Angel Margolin, Jim Rockford's clumsy best friend/con man, earned Stuart 2 Emmys for Best Supporting Actor. But Stuart was more than an actor, an award-winning director, musician, and composer. He directed 2 episodes of The Rockford Files and several of other series. Stuart earned well during the 6 seasons of Rockford, but it was his versatility that kept his career lucrative for decades. He acted, directed, and composed soundtracks. He worked until his 80s in series like The Kominsky Method. He kept a discreet private life free of financial scandals. He died in 2022 at 82, leaving an artistic legacy and a comfortable financial situation built through multiple income streams. Angel was a trickster, but Stuart was a serious professional with a diversified career. Gretchen Corbett. Gretchen played Beth Davenport, Rockford's lawyer and romantic interest in the early seasons. Trained in theater, Gretchen had respected talent, but left the series after 3 seasons due to creative differences. She continued acting in theater, TV, and film, including Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Her work was consistent but low-key, focusing on artistic projects rather than millionaire salaries. Gretchen chose a balanced career between art and personal life. Information about her net worth is private, but she remained active in the theater where passion outweighed the big checks. Beth was romantic in the series, but Gretchen chose a romance with art in real life.
Leave It to Beaver, 1957 to 1963. Jerry Mathers. I'd rather be at the Boy Scout meeting, and this childish honesty won him the role of Theodore Beaver Cleaver. Jerry Mathers was 9 and already a pioneer, the first child actor to earn a percentage of TV series merchandising. He started at $500 weekly, and Leave It to Beaver made him a worldwide star in 234 episodes. The show still runs in 80 countries and 40 languages. Jerry used his earnings smartly. He paid for college at Berkeley, served in the National Guard, and worked in banking and real estate. In 1978, he returned as Beaver in the movie Still the Beaver, then the series The New Leave It to Beaver, 1984 to 89. In 2007, he debuted on Broadway in Hairspray. Diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, he became a health spokesperson. He bought a house in Santa Clarita for $163,000 that appreciated to $1 million. At 77, Jerry has $3 million saved. Beaver Cleaver is still paying the bills 70 years later. Tony Dow. Wally Cleaver, Beaver's perfect older brother, brought Tony instant fame at 12. During Leave It to Beaver, 1957 to 63, Tony earned well but became frustrated. He was typecast as the all-American good boy when he wanted serious roles. After the series, he changed direction. He became a director, helming episodes of series like Coach, Babylon 5, Harry and the Hendersons. Tony was also a talented sculptor, selling abstract artwork. In 1978, he reunited with Jerry Mathers in the play Boeing Boeing. He appeared in the revival, The New Leave It to Beaver, and continued acting sporadically. Married to Lauren Shulkins since 1980, Tony invested in multiple income streams: acting, directing, art. He died in 2022 at 77, leaving around $4 million. Wally taught life lessons on TV, and Tony taught career diversification in real life. Hugh Beaumont. The perfect patriarch, Ward Cleaver, was played by Hugh Beaumont, who before Hollywood was, an ordained Methodist minister. Hugh had been working since the 40s in westerns and B-movies, but Leave It to Beaver, 1957 to 1963, immortalized him as the ideal American father. During the 6 seasons, Hugh earned well by the standards of the time, but didn't become absurdly rich. A religious man, he used his faith off-camera and wrote scripts under a pseudonym. After Beaver, Hugh semi-retired, appearing occasionally on TV. He invested in a simple life and began giving religious lectures. He died in 1982 at 73 from a heart attack. He didn't leave a millionaire fortune, but a legacy of honest work and family values. Ward Cleaver advised Beaver with wisdom, and Hugh lived that wisdom. Barbara Billingsley. June Cleaver, with her perfect dresses, high heels, and pearl necklace while cleaning the house, defined the American mother of the 50s. But Barbara Billingsley was more than the TV housewife. She started in films in the 40s, but Leave It to Beaver, 1957 to 1963, was her defining role. During the series, she earned a modest but consistent salary. After Beaver, she worked sporadically, including a hilarious role in Airplane, 1980, speaking jive. In the revival, The New Leave It to Beaver, 1984 to 1989, Barbara returned as June, now a grandmother. She kept a discreet private life, married 3 times, and invested conservatively. She worked until her 80s. She died in 2010 at 94, leaving a few million and memories of a more innocent era of TV. June Cleaver was always at home, and Barbara built a safe financial home.
Ken Osmond. Eddie Haskell, the manipulative suck-up who was gentle with adults but mean to kids, became a cultural icon. Ken Osmond was 14 when he started Leave It to Beaver, gaining fame as the most famous bad boy of innocent TV. But after the series ended in 1963, Ken faced a nightmare. He was so typecast as Eddie that he couldn't get other roles. Frustrated, Ken made a surprising decision. He became an LAPD police officer in 1970. He served 18 years, was shot twice in the line of duty, saved by his bulletproof vest, and retired with a police pension. He appeared occasionally in Beaver reunions in the 80s. Ken invested his acting earnings and police salary prudently. He died in 2020 at 76, leaving a unique legacy, from TV's biggest past to a real-life hero. Eddie was deceptive on TV, but Ken served and protected in real life. The Donna Reed Show, 1958 to 1966. Donna Reed. From an Iowa farm girl to an Oscar winner, Donna Reed had stars in her eyes since childhood, and Hollywood noticed. She won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 1953 for From Here to Eternity. In 1958, she created her own empire with The Donna Reed Show, where she produced and starred as the perfect housewife Donna Stone. For 8 seasons, Donna controlled her image and earned well, a rare thing for women in the 50s and 60s. She earned 4 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe. After the series, she semi-retired, but made a triumphant return in Dallas, replacing Barbara Bel Geddes. When the producer tried to fire her unfairly, Donna sued and won over $1 million. An anti-nuclear war activist, she used her fame for causes. She died of pancreatic cancer in 1986 at 64, leaving $10 million and a legacy of a strong woman disguised as the perfect housewife. Donna Stone was submissive on TV, but Donna Reed called the shots behind the scenes. Carl Betz. Dr. Alex Stone, the perfect cardiologist father of the Donna Reed Show, brought Carl Betz financial stability for 8 seasons, 1958 to 1966. Carl was an experienced stage actor who found success on TV. During Donna Reed, he earned well, but was overshadowed by the star producer Donna. After the series, Carl starred in Judd for The Defense, 1967 to 1969, winning an Emmy for Best Actor. He continued working in series and films, including roles in Ironside and The Mod Squad. Carl maintained a discreet life and invested conservatively. He died relatively young of lung cancer in 1978 at 56. He didn't leave a Hollywood fortune, but had a respectable and financially comfortable career. Fun fact, in the Elvis movie Spin-Out, Carl played Shelley Fabares' father again. Dr. Stone cured patients on TV, But Carl took good care of his own life. Paul Petersen. Paul Petersen was 13 when he started as Jeff Stone on The Donna Reed Show, 1958 to 1966. The 8 seasons turned him into a teen heartthrob. Paul was multi-talented. He acted, sang, and released several records in the 60s, including hits like My Dad. During the series, he earned well by child actor standards, but Hollywood for child actors is treacherous. After Donna Reed, Paul worked sporadically on TV, but never regained the same success. Then he did something remarkable. He founded A Minor Consideration, a nonprofit organization advocating for the rights of child actors against exploitation. Paul became an author, wrote books, and dedicated his life to protecting children in show business. He married, had children, and maintained a more normal life than most former child actors. Jeff Stone was the model son on TV, but Paul became a protector of children in real life. Shelley Fabares. Mary Stone, the perfect teenage daughter of the Donna Reed Show, turned Shelley Fabares into a sensation. From 1958 to 1963, Shelley captivated millions. Her musical talent earned her a recording contract. Johnny Angel was #1 on the Billboard chart in 1962, selling over 1 million copies and earning a gold record. "I never really knew how to sing," she confessed later. Shelley left Donna Reed in 1963 for other roles, including 3 films with Elvis Presley. In the 70s and 80s, she worked on One Day at a Time as the villain Francine. But it was Coach, 1989 to 1997, that brought mature recognition, 2 Emmy nominations. In 2000, Shelley received a liver transplant after being diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis. Married to Mike Farrell, BJ from MASH since 1984, she produced the SAG Awards from 2004 to 2011. A net worth of $1.5 million reflects a long but modest career. Mary Stone was a good girl on TV, but Shelley faced real-life dramas with dignity. Patty Petersen. Patty Petersen, no relation to Paul Petersen despite the last name, played Trish Stone as the youngest daughter of the Donna Reed Show in the final seasons. Patty joined the series already underway and had a smaller role compared to the others. After Donna Reed, she worked sporadically on TV in small roles, but never achieved great fame. Patty maintained a very private life away from the Hollywood spotlight. There is not much public information about her post-Donna Reed career or financial situation, suggesting she may have left the entertainment industry relatively early for a normal life. Patty represents the silent majority of actors. They worked, gained experience, but chose paths outside of stardom. Trish was the youngest on TV, and Patty chose a private life in reality.